All right, so this Knife Thoughts video is going to be an unboxing, and as you can see, it is from Finch Knife Company. And first of all, to get it out of the way, I'm not getting in any street fights or anything crazy like that. I teach jiu-jitsu and caught a knee in some live training earlier this week, so that's why I've got the big black eye here. And it is actively raining, but my neighbor, I guess, decided that now is a good time to mow, so you might hear that in the background. But I have been very interested in Finch knives for a long time, for 3 years, basically since they first came into existence, since the company was first made, because I was at River's Edge Cutlery actually for a jiu-jitsu tournament, or in the area for a jiu-jitsu tournament, and they had the Finch Runtley, Finch's first model there, and we're going to do a pass round, and were kind enough to allow me to take part in it. And I thought it was really cool. I really liked that it had some traditional design inspiration, and I'm gonna keep going. It's raining a little harder now, but I'm just gonna keep going. Let's keep doing it. Some traditional design inspiration, and also design inspiration from fishing lures, cool things like that. And I got to talk with Spencer, one of the founders of Finch Knives, at that time, and thought that it sounded really cool, their vision for the company. And I believe I've had one of their knives since then, but it's just been one of those things where I've definitely been interested in them, but they were kind of on the periphery of what I was buying and things like that. But I got to meet Spencer in person at Blade Show this year, and it was great to meet him, and we just were talking, and he decided to send feels like a couple knives for review. So I am very much looking forward to checking out what he sent. I don't know what's in here, and checking them out for review, because I think that they've come out with a lot of really cool things. There's been several that I have been, like literally like from clicking the button away from buying, including recently. I really like the Rhino Toe, I think is what it was called. They have a jigged titanium version. But anyway, let's look at what's in here. It's called so here's the buffalo tooth. And I think that that's what I was just talking about. I promise you that was not scripted. I didn't know what was in here. I was literally just talking about this, the jig titanium buffalo tooth. So that's pretty darn cool. It's always fun when something like that happens. But here's the box. Keep life from getting dull. That's always the goal, right? And collect them all. And flipping the Finch, unique pocket knives. So cool box, and let's get right into it. So here is a very optimistic, I would call it, looking sticker. I like that. Buffalo tooth. Here is a flipping the Finch sticker. I'll set these aside. Like I said, it's full on raining, so don't want stuff to get too wet. But then here is the guarantee. Nice to have a physical guarantee. I know that it doesn't make a legal difference or whatever, but it's just a nice thing. I always like it. And a band-aid. I remember that there was a band-aid in with the Runtley also. So that's a cool thing. And here is that knife. Look at this thing. Just a big old, really what I would call, it's like a modern interpretation of an elephant toe pattern. And so that's one of the, really, like I said, the big things that drew me to Finch knives and has continued to make them interesting to me, is that they do have a lot of traditional design cues. So this is like if you took a traditional elephant toe and made it a modern flipper. So let's see how the action is here. Very nice. Look how tall that blade is. Look at that. Look at that blade. That is really something. Look at how tall that grind is. Wow, I can't wait to cut with this thing. I can't wait to see how it cuts. Lockup looks good. The flip was good, as you can see, and drops closed. Not a lot of space for it to drop because your thumb's right there. Sits really deep in the frame. I always like that, and very well centered. Lots of like big slabs of titanium here on this. Really nice flipping. Really fills the hand up because it is so tall. You can see that it has the Finch shield, which I appreciate. I like that they're putting shields on these modern knives, and that jigging is so cool. It's actually the same jigging as on the traditional pocket knives exclusive Penguin, is what I've been told. So that's pretty cool. It's a great looking jigging pattern. And because it has the jigging and then non-jigged, it has a faux bolster look, both bolster and end cap. So I really like that. It really does give it that traditional look. 154 cm, nice, you know, American steel. Really feels good in the hand. It's nice and rounded, as you can see. I'm gonna put this one to use. I think that this is gonna be fun to use. And it does look like it's ground nicely for cutting also. And then again, you know, just another example. It has a nail nick in case you need to open it with one hand or with two hands. Got that nail nick. I really like that. I like that it has those traditional design cues. So that is the buffalo tooth. Very, very cool. And there is another in here, so let's take a look. So different box, same sayings. Maybe just one of the same sayings. This is the devil's finger. So cool names too, right? Like, and this is Sequoia green micarta. So haven't heard that color micarta before. Some stickers, a sticker specifically for this model. I think that's a cool thing. You can collect the stickers along with the knives. So there's the devil's finger sticker. And the other flipping the Finch. They're the same. And same deal, guarantee and Band-Aid. Let's hope we don't need these Band-Aids here during the unboxing video. And here it is. So it's a nice green micarta is what the Sequoia means. And here we have it. So a much thinner, you know, more slender knife, another flipper. This one doesn't have the nail nick, as you can see, so that helps it to be really slender. Very nice lines too. I like that curve. That's kind of the first thing that jumps out at me, is that nice continuous curve. It's a little bit of contouring to these scales actually. Again, the shield, which I do appreciate. Very nice flipping. Look at that point. Wow, that is a pointy point. Look how pointy that point is right there. That's really cool. I guess that's why they call it the devil's finger. Nice and centered. Very well centered. And lockup looks good. I didn't actually feel the lockup on the buffalo tooth. I'll feel it. This feels super solid. And then let me grab the buffalo tooth again. Solid. The lockup looks good, looks solid, and feels it too. Very, very solid. So let's go back to the devil's finger here. Very nice flipping. Feels comfortable in the hand too because of this turn here. Getting kind of long on an unboxing video, I guess, but it's cool to see these in person because I don't think I've gotten to see this one in person. I did look at that buffalo tooth at Blade Show because that was one that I've, you know, really been interested in. Very nice. So lots of jimping on the back here. So this kind of, I like the lines of this one. It almost reminds me, I'm trying to think of what it reminds me of. It reminds me of some design, but it definitely, you know, it's got that nice pointy tip, nice action. And I'll definitely contact Spencer and see, you know, if there's any design kind of inspiration on this one also. I don't know if I'm thinking of a particular traditional pattern right off the bat with this, but very cool. Definitely going to put these right in my pocket right to use. And I really do appreciate Finch Knife Co. sending these along for review. I love getting to check out new companies. Finch Knife Co. isn't really new at this point. They've been around for like 3 years, I think. But, you know, newer companies, companies that are doing interesting things like this, like having the traditional design aesthetics or cues or inspiration, I really appreciate that. That's one of the things. I love traditional knives, and so, you know, I always love to see that in a modern knife. So really excited about these ones. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and select all so you know when I post new videos. Check out my website, knifethoughts.com, where I post articles on knives like this and knife related topics. Speaking of which, I do have an article on the Runtley. And then check out my other social media. I'm on Instagram and Facebook at Knife Thoughts. And last but not least, as always, don't forget to go out and do good.